What's up, Tiki Team? Welcome to the channel. My name's Spesh, helping you conquer the Horde, and we need to discuss something because, as you know, Vanguard Zombies comes out in a little under a week, and the question needs to be raised: is Cold War Zombies the best zombies experience we've ever had in Call of Duty? I know what you're thinking. Smash, nothing can beat Black Ops 3. Nothing can beat Black Ops 2, Smash. Listen, little Timmy, alright? It's very, very possible that Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War is the best zombies mode we have ever had in Call of Duty. In this video, we're going to be breaking down every inch of Call of Duty Zombies and basically what came in Cold War and kind of what is good, what is bad, and what's just kind of meh. So without further ado, let's get right into it. And we have to start with the content. Now, I know what you're thinking. It only had 4 maps. It only had 4 round-based maps. But here's where you're wrong. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War introduced more content to the game than we have ever gotten inside of Call of Duty before. I'm talking about all the 4 round-based maps we got. But Smash, 4 round-based maps is the least we've ever gotten. It's tied with Call of Duty World at War for the least amount of maps we ever got. I know. But you know what Call of Duty World at War didn't have? It didn't have Outbreak. It didn't have Onslaught. Love it or hate it, one way or another, this is the most content we've ever received for a Call of Duty game. Let's take a look at widely respected as one of the best zombies games of all time. Let's look at Black Ops 1. Now I know, Keynote or Toten, I know what you're thinking here. We're looking at Ascension. We're looking at Moon. Okay, I agree that those maps feel like they hit a little bit harder than Call of Duty Black Ops Cold Wars. But think about this for a second, okay? Let's put on our thinking cap. In that game, you had a set amount of perks. You could only purchase 4 perks. Okay, whatever, not a big deal. That's kind of traditional classic zombies. But those perks never got better. They were just what they were. From the day the game released to the day the game ended, that was what they were. And you can go back and play it today at the version we can play now. They're the exact same thing. The perks sucked. The replayability in every Call of Duty game in terms of zombies was never as high as it has been inside of Cold War. I'm not gonna lie to you, this is the first time in Call of Duty's history where I have been constantly playing zombies from the day it released back in last November until the release of the new Call of Duty coming in just a few days. Treyarch and Call of Duty did an amazing job at releasing content for this game that's gonna keep us playing time and time again, whether it be talking about Dark Ether Camo or Ethereum Crystals, just trying to grind out your favorite perks, and adding a bunch of new weapons throughout the life cycle of the game that we can once again grind Dark Ether Camo, we can grind out the gun level. It adds so much more replayability to the game than ever before inside of Call of Duty, and I think that it does not receive the amount of respect that it deserves. Don't get me wrong, I am an incredibly nostalgic person. Call of Duty Black Ops 3 is my favorite Call of Duty game of all time in terms of zombies, but I really do think that Cold War, in terms of pure content on an objective basis, is more fun. If I had to pick, would I rather go play any of the Black Ops 3 round-based maps compared to the Black Ops Cold War round-based maps? Probably. I'd rather go play Derizen Drac than play The Forsaken. I'd rather go play Gorod Krovi than play D Machina. But on a very base level and objective level, the content that we got for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War is an A. It is a 10 out of 10. We have never received more than we had in this very game. Moving on now to just quality of life improvements in general, and this is where things get really interesting. Because if you remember the last Call of Duty Black Ops game, Call of Duty Black Ops 4, it's widely regarded as one of the very worst Call of Duty Zombies games that we've ever had. And that game had more content than we'd ever really seen. But because of exactly how the game played and going through with like the perk system was just god awful, and basically everything about the quality of life for Call of Duty Black Ops 4 was an L. It was And Cold War blows it out of the water. Being able to buy any perk you want is super, super cool. I wouldn't even really mind. I like being able to buy every perk. I wouldn't mind seeing the 4 perk limit come back in Vanguard. But overall, just the quality of life improvements that we got for Cold War Zombies. Let's talk about this. We have the FOV slider. I go back and play any old Call of Duty game now, and I'm like, I just can't handle this, man. I feel so close to the zombies. I feel like they're in my face. The quality of life improvements in this game were so gosh darn good. And again, it comes back to replayability. Call of Duty and Treyarch did their job with Cold War by creating replayability, both just because A, there was a ton of content being released, but B, playing the content just felt fun. I have never had a Call of Duty Zombies game feel as good as it does to play Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Like, let's put it this way. Let's go back to the Black Ops 4 example. We have both the Chaos storyline and the Ether storyline. We had 8 round-based maps in that game, and it is widely regarded as the worst Call of Duty Zombies game we've ever had. Because, first and foremost, the quality of life was just terrible. The mechanics in that game was horrendous. The engine in that game for zombies was just wasn't there. And that's what I think is so good about Cold War Zombies. It is seamless, the way that they went through and added just your different movements and your sliding abilities, and being able to go up to the crafting table and just buy stuff, quality of life improvements, being able to buy ammo from ammo caches around the map. It's just mwah. In terms of the quality of life improvements to Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, I'm going to give this a B+. Maybe, you know what, no, let's just give it a regular B on that. Again, I absolutely loved it. I think that it was absolutely incredible on how everything came about in this game, and it just feels so good. But again, I think I would still rather go back and play Black Ops 3, simply just because the Easter eggs are more fun. I think the maps were more fun as well. One thing we do need to talk about, though, is how people felt like there was no content for this game. I know that we're kind of going back to content here, but I just want you guys to think back to Call of Duty Black Ops 3, okay? Think back to the time between Call of Duty Black Ops 3's Zetsubo no Shima and Gorod Krovi map. It felt like an eternity because you beat the Easter egg, and then it was like, alright, what now? And there was really nothing to do. They weren't adding new things into the game. There wasn't a bunch of different perks that you could grind out levels for and grind out tiers for. There was no camo to grind for in that game either. So I think that that's another thing that Cold War did really well, is just their pacing of their game. I will admit that one of the bad things about Cold War that they did was when they released Die Maschine at the very start of the game, and then they waited to release Firebase Z for quite a while, and it felt like that took a really long time. Like, we waited a really long time for the next Zombies map to come out, and when it did, it actually ended up being Outbreak, and people were kind of off-put by this. I think the Outbreak is a really, really fun mode. I do think there's a lot more they can do with it in the future, but I think that they should have released Firebase Z first. Maybe it wouldn't have made sense with the story, but they should have released Firebase Z first and then released Outbreak as kind of like a bridge between Firebase Z and Mauer der Toten. That didn't happen, and so I feel like the lull between Die Maschine and then going on to Firebase Z felt like an incredibly long time, simply because it was something new. We didn't have a round-based map. I think they just kind of pushed it on us and threw it at us a little too early, when instead they should have done Firebase Z first and been like, okay, Outbreak, go now. Speaking of Outbreak, let's talk about Outbreak a little bit. How would I rate Outbreak, you ask? I think that I would rate Outbreak a B- or maybe a C+. Don't get me wrong, I think Outbreak is a super fun mode, and I do really enjoy it for testing different like weapons and stuff in the game, maybe against Orda, as I'm sure you guys know from all the videos on my channel. But I do think that Outbreak could have been better, and I think it will be. I mean, it was their first time ever trying it. I personally don't think Outbreak should be canon whatsoever. I think Outbreak should be a dumping ground for all assets they have ever had in Call of Duty. I want to have the Thunder Gun. I want to have the Ray Gun Mark II. I want to have every single weapon you could possibly think of inside of Outbreak. I almost kind of want Outbreak to be a gigantic sandbox feel Revelations. I want to be able to go to Outbreak, travel around this absolutely massive map to all these locations that we've been to in the past, just kind of as I want it to be a nostalgia dump. I 100% want Outbreak to just be everything that they have. They have assets for Kino der Toten. Put Kino der Toten in the uppermost part of the map. I don't care. But then give us all the weapons as well, and give us more events, obviously, on the ground. I honestly think they should also make it more than 4-player. These are just kind of ideas I'm spitballing here. But I think that an entire asset dump for Outbreak would be a heck of a lot more fun than what they do have. It gets repetitive after playing Outbreak a few times. That's why I'm going to give it a C+, maybe a B-. Now let's talk about the seasonal events that they had inside of this game. And up until the Halloween event, I would have given them an F. I would have 100% given them an F in terms of seasonal events. Compared to old Zombies games, I think that World War II did a really good job with the seasonal events. But with the Halloween event, I'm going to give them a solid C, because the Halloween event is super duper fun. But if you guys remember that the Jingle Hells event, that was just atrocious. The Jingle Hells event, I hated it. It was so boring. There was nothing going on. I was so excited for it too, which was such a bummer for it to just be, yo, check out these hellhounds. They got reindeer Rudolph noses. So I'm going to give the seasonal events a solid C, but it was so close to teetering on a failing grade over here that I think the Halloween event really saved it. Now moving on over to our final mode inside of Cold War Zombies, we're going to be looking at Onslaught. And Onslaught, I'm going to give it a solid D. I think Onslaught was terrible. I understand where they were going with it, but because it was a PlayStation exclusive mode, they didn't really put anything into it. They were just like, here's a multiplayer map, here's some zombies. Go wild. And they didn't really put anything into it because only a fraction of their player base would actually be able to play the mode. I think Onslaught may be one of the least played modes that I have ever had inside of a Call of Duty Zombies game. I think that Onslaught was the most boring mode in the world. I really don't have any plans to play it past the first Elite Wave. I think the most time that I've spent in Onslaught was actually playing it for videos for the YouTube channel. Honestly, I'm kind of talking myself into an F for Onslaught, but I'm going to stick with giving it a D. So overall, in terms of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War Zombies, I'm going to look back at this game with a ton of nostalgia because, A, it's just kind of when we got started on YouTube. You know what I mean? We started finally posting YouTube videos, and I think that this game is going to age really, really well. I honestly do, because Black Ops 3, I'm not going to lie, Black Ops 3 has aged really poorly. At the time, we didn't know it because we were just used to getting 4 maps and calling it a year. But now, because of all the content that we had dropped on nearly a weekly basis for Cold War, Black Ops 3 looks like a small drop in the bucket inside of Cold War Zombies. But I do have to lean on the nostalgia factor for Black Ops 3. I will not be calling Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War the best Zombies experience I've ever had, or the best Zombies game that we have, but I'm going to put it right there, neck and neck, with Call of Duty Black Ops 3, simply because Call of Duty Black Ops 3 has that nostalgia factor. And for people that maybe never played Black Ops 3 when it first came out, like maybe some of the younger crowd, there's a good chance that this is their favorite game. That Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War is the greatest Zombies game that they have ever played, because they look at the release of all the content and the quality of life improvements, and then they go back and play Black Ops 3. They're not playing it with just Black Ops 3 in mind. They're playing it with, oh, I've played Cold War before, and now I'm going back to this. This is unplayable. I strongly do believe that Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War is one of the best Zombies games we have ever had. I really hope they can carry that on over into Vanguard. I'm very excited to bring Vanguard to you guys for the next year. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you soon. I want to give a big shout out to all the channel members over on the channel, and an extra special shout out to all of the Zombie Richtofen members, starting off with hashtag BestMod, Strict Archer, the quippest man in the Southern Hemisphere, Commander_Quip, and the man, the myth, the legend, Tis Brandon ZR.